Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Master System Marceau. Again, I apologize for the setup. It'll get better, I promise. Order a tripod for the camera. It'll get better. But here, instead of responding to tweets, each tweet by hand, I hate texting. I like a little bit a tweet here and there, but when it's Twitter wars, I just can't respond back and forth to somebody who's just sending me a few messages at a time, being sure that I'm a hater and this and that. So I wanted to talk to you guys about Metroid Dread, my opinions on that, more in details in this video that I will refer to each of these tweets. So the thing is, what you gotta understand is I love Nintendo. I love Sega, of course, but I love Nintendo. But the Nintendo fanboys, though, they're a different animal. If you think Sony fanboys are bad, or what you call Xbots, right, or any Stadia fanboys, the Nintendo fanboys are the most aggressive that there is out there. I can guarantee to anybody. If you don't know it, it's because you never criticized a Nintendo game. They are, yeah, they're scary. Okay, this is why very few people dare say anything negative about Nintendo and Nintendo games. They will get tons of dislikes. They will get ton of slander messages. They will never end. You get notifications non-stop. People saying, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know. Show me proof. Show me proof. No, you don't know anything. It's crazy. It's something else. It's a different animal, Nintendo. The fan base, like RGT85, he always has to put a disclaimer on his videos that he loves Nintendo. Switch, I think, is his main console he plays with. And he had to say, my favorite game you didn't know was a Metroid game and all that. He has to put disclaimers because people will just say he's a hater just for the purpose of hating, he's trolling or whatever. So my disclaimer that I will tell you is we have 3 Nintendo Switches in this house. I have one, my wife has one, the kid here has one. My 512 gigabyte card is filled to the brim. And I'm excited for Metroid 5, for Metroid Dread, because it's a game from my era. It's a game, the first one I believe was from 88 or something, and this is my time. So I played, although I didn't play them at the time, but I played Metroid 1 on the NES, on the NES not long ago, on Nintendo Switch Online. And I would love Nintendo to put Metroid 2 and Metroid 4 on NSO. So I can play the 4 games before playing the 5th one. I don't like going into a new game if I haven't played the previous one. So, and I don't want to do it in an unofficial way on the Raspberry Pi or anything. I want to do it the way it's meant to be, on an official Nintendo console. Nintendo still makes console. Why can't we play Metroid 2 and 4 right now? The Switch is perfectly capable of playing them, perfectly capable. They had stolen a free emulator to do their NES and SNES Classic, right? It was proven. So why can't they take again an emulator that's available anywhere and just put it on NSO and give us those Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games? They absolutely can't do it. I'm sure it will take not even a few days for their programmers to put that on the store, if that. Maybe it might take a few hours. It's really not a lot of work. So I don't know why Nintendo isn't doing it. It's absolutely preposterous. I have no words. I have no words why these games aren't available. But as soon as they are, I will play them. I've finished all the Mario games in the world, all the Zelda games, not the Metroid ones, and I'm really excited to do it. I love Nintendo games. But I still gotta be real though with Metroid Dread. I still have to be real, because I'm an old school. I'm a retro gamer. Okay, for example, the kid here My wife will not play Metroid. She bought Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, things like that. She will never play a Metroid game. That's for sure. So we already clear people like her. The kid here, we bought him every single Zelda game and every single Mario game on Switch. And guess how many he played? None. He tried 5 minutes of Breath of the Wild. I was like, oh, that's nice. And it doesn't know what to do for him. It's too much thinking. He doesn't like it. He doesn't say he doesn't like it. He will probably gonna brag to his friends. Yeah, I've got Breath of the Wild. Didn't touch it. He didn't touch it. He didn't touch it. Mario Odyssey didn't even start it. He didn't start any Mario game actually. He didn't start one of them, and he owns them all. Some games are still sealed. He got them for Christmas. He didn't even unseal them. So because what do kids these days play? Multiplayer games. This is all they care about, and I'm trying to get them interested in single player games like I love. It's hard. They don't care. He's gonna play Minecraft for hours on end, Fortnite, Overwatch, stuff like that. Minecraft dungeons, I mean, and so on and so forth. But single player games, and Metroid, the 2D game, forget it. He did play Sonic Forces because it was easy. But see, that's another proof that what we say on Twitter and all that, us hardcore fans, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be true for the population. Like, I love Sonic Forces personally, but if you just do the campaign and you don't try to speedrun it like I do, it's super easy. It's almost on rail, right? You're on rails and it's automatic. Okay, you can still speedrun it in a lot of ways. Which this is why I still love Sonic Forces. And there's leaderboards. There's not all Sonic games that have that. There's online leaderboards. So it's super fun. You speedrun it and you see if you beat people. So that's why personally I like it. I know people will freak out when I say I like Sonic Forces, but personally I did because of that. Because I can speedrun it. And there's a lot of challenges that you can do. But if you just do the main campaign, kids can play it and enjoy it. That's why Sonic Forces was successful. Yes, it was. Because kids can play it. They can play it. It's not a hard game. So we all cried foul. Not me, but most people cried foul against Sonic Forces. Oh, it's on rails. Yeah, guess what? The kids, they bought it. And they played it and they enjoyed it. He hasn't played a Mario game. You understand? And Mario is still a successful franchise. I'm not saying otherwise. Proof is I bought all of these for him. So how much money, plus for me. So how much money did we spend on Mario games on Switch in this house? Huge lot of money. I finished them all. He didn't even try them. Right? But he finished Sonic Forces twice. He finished it on Switch and he finished it on Xbox One. Because it's easy and he loves it. So you have to be careful. Metroid here, if you're telling me it's gonna sell because of word to mouth, to kids like this, the only reason it might sell is because Nintendo does not have a big holiday game. They have Metroid, they have WarioWare, Advance Wars, and I think that's basically it. I wouldn't be surprised if WarioWare, a party game, sells more than Metroid Dread. Because, you know, how do these games sell? People are not all hardcore gamers like us, talk about it on YouTube, talk about it on Twitter. Regular dads, regular moms, they go to the store and they see, oh yeah, kids will like this, I'll take that. We might play this. They see WarioWare, it's a funny game, it's fun. They don't care, it's $60. They take it. But Metroid, they're like, what this looks like, a 2D game, a bit like Mario, but more complicated. This is what they'll think. They will be like, it's like a platformer, right? A bit like Mario, but seems hard to understand. The kid will not concentrate on that. It would not give it more than 5-minute attention. And they're right. Most kids will not give a lot of attention to Metroid. They will not. it will only sell well to people of my generation. You can disagree with me on the sales, and I might be wrong, but if people buy it massively, it's people from my generation. It's not going to be young people. It's not. It's I can try as hard as I can to make the kid here play Metroid. He's never going to play through that. I know for a fact. And he plays, and most kids that his age that I know play even less single player games than him. At least he did Sonic Forces and he did some of them. But most is just stuck on multiplayer, the Call of Duties if they can, or things like that. So be very careful. The pre-orders are crazy, of course, because people my generation, they've been craving for a Metroid Dread for so long that as soon as they saw it, like, yes, pre-order. Like me, when a new Sonic game comes, it's been a while since the last Sonic game. As soon as I saw Sonic Colors there, pre-order. I pre-ordered even on Xbox, PS4, and Switch. Like, so excited for it, right? Metroid Dread, people, hardcore fans, Nintendo fans, adults like me, 30 plus years old, yeah. But under 30 years old, oh, be careful. It's not going to do so good as you think. I could be wrong because, like I said, there's no holiday game for Nintendo this year. So Zelda Breath of the Wild has been delayed until next year. So, but people still buy Mario Kart like crazy, Animal Crossing, because they love party games on the Nintendo Switch. Casual fans. And then also, for hardcore fans, if you like Metroidvania, there's maybe it's less people, but there's still some people who will compare this to Ori and Hollow Knight and stuff like that. I'm one of those. I'm sure I love Metroid 5 because of the lore, and I love its lore. I've watched many videos about its lore. I love sci-fi, so I really want to play through the whole story really bad. As soon as it comes out, like I finished all the Zeldas and all the Marios in existence. I love these games. I love Nintendo IPs, and I will play through Metroid 5 for the gameplay and the lore. I'm really excited. But you have to realize that if you compare it to Ori, like look at the atmosphere, the sound effects, the graphics. If you've played it, you know what I mean. It looks amazing. It's like you're so immersed in the universe. It's just a transforming experience, really. It's amazing. Like Ori and the Will of the Wisps and the Blight Forest is games. Wow, those are gems, really masterpieces of the Metroidvania genre. Yes. Oh my. Here, Metroid Dread. For $60, so it's twice the price as any other Metroidvania, twice the price. The gameplay, I'm sure it's going to be number one. I'm sure of that. Graphics, though, yeah, I know it's our style like that, but and I know most people would disagree with me on this, but it doesn't look so good. It looks like some kind of a mobile game and some kind of a flash game. It doesn't look so good. I mean, we're still going to like it, I'm sure. But you can't tell me that they put so much work into this compared to Ori, for example, or Hollow Knight, games like that. No. It is not that... it's not... They didn't put that much work into it. I'm sure they put a lot of work into gameplay, and they've been working on it for a long, long time. But with the graphics, look at it. If you've played Ori, and you look at Metroid Dread, you know what I mean. You know. You must know what I mean. So, Nintendo selling it for $60, in some people's mind, they're still going to be like... they're exaggerating on the price. And I have to take a whole 60, and if my kid doesn't like it, it's gonna stay on the shelf. To be honest, I might buy it for the kid here to try and getting him into it. But I know he's not gonna play it. I know. Like I said, he hasn't touched a Mario game, and he barely played Zelda. He played it for 5 minutes, and it's there. And then he can brag to his friends, "Yeah, I got Breath of the Wild." But he didn't even get an extra heart. He didn't do one shrine. Nothing. He just went into nature, beat one guy, and he was done with it. Okay, he doesn't want to concentrate. It's too much thinking to do. So, is Sean RGT85 going to be wrong? To be honest, the game might sell 3 million in the first year, but after that, the sales will drastically fall off a cliff. That is my prediction. I could be wrong. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't hold the truth to the mysteries of the universe or anything like that. But I strongly believe that once the hardcore gamers who've already pre-ordered it, once we're done, after that, it's not going to sell that well. And yeah, again, if the fact they don't have a holiday game helps it, good. After these holidays, everybody will be focused on other games, and Metroid Dread will be completely forgotten. And kids, like I said, they don't want to play that kind of game. So even the 20-year-olds, between 20 and 30-year-olds, they play Call of Duty all the time. They play multiplayer games with their friends. And we cannot think that retro gamers like us, old school gamers, that we have an influence on the new generations. We really don't. Look at when there's a boycott of Blizzard, there's a boycott of Activision. When we call out Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red and all that, does it have an influence on the sales? Let's be real. Does it have an influence on the sale? No, it doesn't have an influence on the sale. Cyberpunk still got, when it got released on the PlayStation Store lately, was still first in the charts. Call of Duty will still sell the same. FIFA, Madden are criticized every year like crazy, and they still sell more than ever. So yeah, we're trying to get the word out there to watch out for certain bad publishers and stuff like that. Are we being successful though? Let's be real. Is anybody having an influence on the dads and the moms going to the store? No, we don't. So Metroid Man, and anybody, like everybody is scared to criticize it because the Nintendo fanboys, it's absolutely ridiculous the attention you get from these guys. Like I just put a Twitter message under RGT85 here, and I get a guy responding to me, and it's just not ever just one message. It's 1, 2, and then they continue like, oh, but you think this or you that, and how can you be so sure? Because and I just, and you have to justify yourself. And like, first of all, I hate typing. So even to text my wife, I prefer to call her. I don't like just typing like that. And then you have to fight with the keyboard, and I don't like it. This is why I'm making this video, because people will just ask me over and over to repeat myself about what I think of Metroid and say that I don't know anything. So it's better I'll just refer them to this video. But everybody's so sure, all the Nintendo fanboys are so sure it's going to succeed. And I will have called it in advance right here. You've heard me. This game is not going to sell like all of these people think. And the one of the reason is because of the price. They are like, oh no, that's fine. So many years of development and this and that, so the price is fine. Okay, if you defend the price and the game fails because of it, Metroid 6 will be years and years and years away. Okay? Whereas if Nintendo gave it more of a chance by putting the game like at $40, which is more than any other Metroidvania, by the way, you can check Ori, Hollow Knight, and the others. They're sold between $15 to $30, and you don't tell me that they require less development than Metroid Dread. So they're selling it that expensive because it's a Nintendo IP and it's the Nintendo tax, which it's fine on its own. It's fine on its own, but it might hurt the sales in long term, and it might hurt them to work on Metroid 6. You might not get Metroid 6 that fast. So instead of just being critical, if you're critical, it's not going to hurt the sales of Dread. It might save it because Nintendo might realize what the wrong they're doing and change their policy. Otherwise, they will always continue to give you more and more trouble, like they did with the Mario 3D collection. They will do stuff like that. They will take advantage of everybody. So it's not because you're a Nintendo fan like I am. I love my Switch. I have a 512 gigabyte micro SD card that is filled to the brim. I love my Switch, but I will criticize Nintendo for when they do things wrong. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely. Any company that messes with me or I think is doing something wrong, I will say it. Everybody should, instead of just being all on the same side. Oh, you're all on the bandwagon, like the Spawn Waves Spawncast. I love these guys, but if one of them says something, most of them have to agree with him. So they're all always in the same direction. And because, like for this, for example, RGT was saying something else. Yesterday was not at the podcast. They all made fun of him. They were all mocking him and saying, yeah, RGTs always get weird opinions. Doesn't know what he's saying. Just because he on this one, he's not following the trend. Like, guys, this is what you want? Everybody just making their videos on their own side, having the exact same opinion, because if one of them is a little bit going on the side, let's all laugh at that guy. Let's all laugh. He must be wrong because he doesn't think like us, so he must be wrong. He's gotta be. Like our friend Michael Does Life, when he was calling out Cyberpunk 2077 before it released, the entire planet, including me, thought Cyberpunk would be amazing. And guess what? He was the only one on Earth not thinking that, and he was right. And everybody else looked like an idiot. Everybody else. And I think Dylan in the details had the same opinion. But these are the only ones. So it's fine to have a different opinion, and that doesn't mean you're a hater. I'm very excited for the Metroid games. I was very excited for Skyward Sword. I finished it in a week. I put 80 hours into it, completed it. I loved it, but I have so many criticism against it though. So there you go. That was my thoughts. These were my thoughts on Metroid Dread. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're still here right now, probably most of you will have checked out by now, but if you're not sick of hearing me, I might upload some new videos later about other games like this, because there is so much that I want to say when I read everybody having the same opinion there, and I know sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they have a tunnel vision because everybody says the same thing. And I'm trying to take them out of this tunnel vision. So hope you enjoy it, and see you guys next time.